Good morning and welcome. This is a kind of day where you remember the old statement about the post office: through rain, through sleet, through hail, through. This is going to be a day for perseverance because we're going to welcome you. We're going to move forward into this term, and I'm just going to make a few comments of welcome and maybe a little bit of orientation from my point of view. I serve as the Chief Academic Officer of Teachers College, which means I lead the faculty, I hire them, I carry them through their promotion reviews and review their research, help in raising grant money, reviewing the curriculum, making sure that we have a state-of-the-art, current knowledge base in all of our fields. And this is really exciting work. I mean, as you saw from the video, this is a place of really intense inquiry, of creating new fields, of leading new directions in existing fields. And so you're coming into a kind of community that's restless, that's passionate about what it does, and is always trying to discover new ways to improve human learning. That's really our genetic code as an institution. And I just want to give you, sort of three images. These are really personal perspectives of mine, not necessarily what you've read in the materials or seen on the website. But when I look at this academic community and try to figure out, what's at the heart of it, what's the core, what's really that drives us, these are things that really make sense to me, and I think they're very relevant to you as incoming students and also as people, building your professional careers. One of them has to do, really with inquiry, with sharing of knowledge, and it's this principle of deep principle of integrity and honesty. All science is about discovery, and it's about sharing knowledge, vetting new ideas. And we realize that in order to do that, we must be truthful. We have to have the very best knowledge about how people learn, how they overcome constraints to learning, how we can develop opportunity. And if anything takes us off course in that, if we begin to produce false knowledge or dishonest knowledge or knowledge that we can't own, one thing about our professions that we have here is that we will damage human lives. Teachers, counselors, health workers, with kinds of information that are not really rooted in truth and currency and what the best understanding is, will limit human lives and could, seriously damage them in some cases. And, this really applies to our faculty and the knowledge they produce, because anything that they come up with as a new idea goes through a process of peer review of people in their fields who judge it and go through a process of deciding whether this is new, whether this is truthful, whether it's based on real research. And so this applies to you also. That academic integrity is part of your life. That means being truthful. It means not plagiarizing. It means using your own work and putting forward your best effort. And of course, talking with one another and reading the research that there is, but it means you need to make sure that your own mind is growing in understanding and that you're putting forward that best understanding. And then within this community, we debate and talk about our ideas, and we learn through that process. It's what the whole community is doing. It's what the faculty are doing in their lives, and it's what our students are part of that as well. And so I just, I put that in front of you, that idea of academic integrity, it's at the root of our community. It's so important to what we do because when we apply it, we're going to be having an impact on other lives, and that knowledge really needs to be rooted in truthfulness. I think a second idea, and these are, again, my take on the kind of the heart of Teachers College. You realize that what we do here, nothing is really static. Knowledge is changing. I mean, we have traditions and ideas. Of course, we have values. But every field that you're in, the knowledge base is changing. And our faculty are working very hard to push the frontiers of that knowledge. And they are working with professional associations and others to change as we codify, what it means to be a professional. That whole sense of what you are doing is going to be changing. We are a dynamic organization that's always changing our understanding of what we do. Just to give you one example, the learning of mathematics. There's been an explosion of new knowledge about the acquisition of mathematical understanding in early childhood. I'm talking about birth to age 5 even, and we have faculty here that are doing that work. And it's something where, 10 years ago, people didn't even know how concepts form in toddlers and very, very young children. And, this knowledge is increasing month by month even, where it's very, very exciting, that we're getting a deeper knowledge of how people form an understanding of number and of relationships and estimation and many things that are inside mathematics. Our faculty are working on the forefront of that and many other things that I could mention now. And it's going to be changing and transforming how we prepare professionals. If you're a teacher, you need to understand these things and many others as well. And that's what this community is about. So, just to put that statement in a more simple way, we don't just stamp on you, a set of ideas or knowledge that are going to stay permanent for life. What we do is we help create a form of inquiry where you continue to grow. You become part of this this community of deepening understanding throughout your lifetime as professionals, and that's really the kind of idealism that we have as an institution. The third value, you saw in the video looking at professors of the past and things like that, and one thing that was not in there, but it's implicit in much of what was there, that we were born in the late 19th century as an institution. And we were born at a time when the greatest migration worldwide that had ever taken place was occurring to the New World. And, millions coming in each year into New York, through California. And this city grew by leaps and bounds, and it became unmanageable. It became a huge, ungovernable city in the 1890s and into the early part of the 20th century. Lots and lots of poverty, extremes of wealth and poverty. Industrialization, of course, was really changing this society. We were born in that cauldron of change, and one of the kinds of institutions that took form then was settlement houses, where people went into immigrant communities and poor communities, and they created social organizations to help people learn to learn about diet and nutrition, and to begin teaching and doing art and doing communications, all different kinds of things. And the people who were involved in that movement also formed Teachers College. Our founder created a club, which is a kitchen and garden club, going out into the poor neighborhoods of the city and helping people to adapt to urban life. And this was a time when the things we take for granted now, urban government and museums and parks and things like that, those are all being built during that time, and we were part of that great movement in the city. And so at the core of this institution is a very strong value of social justice, of wanting to help those in need, and of recognizing the magnitude of human need that is out there. And if you take that same set of ideas and images that I just gave you from the 1890s, look around in the world now. Great migration, economic transformation, great disparities of wealth and poverty, great difficulties in getting access to education and health services and psychological services for many, many people. That's our mission right there. That's where we are. That's what we're doing. And you've come into this as people making your own inquiries as individuals, and you've brought your own passions and your own questions. And so I just invite you to share that with us and grow here, because we consider this to be the most important work that humanity can do. And that's why we are here. So welcome to Teachers College.